This is a video to show the development of part 4. Now this is the top view of the exhaust system, and this is the front view. Now in the directions I stated that the connections between the pieces would all be circular, okay, and they will be clean fits. So there will be a circular connection on this end and two circular connections on this end. So what I did to start this development is to draw one of the views that you don't have, but I just used what I knew about the object to create it. Okay, I knew it was circular ends, and I also knew the pertinent dimensions. Okay, so what I did, I created a top view and a front view, and also if I turn on the hidden lines real quick, you can see the two holes on the bottom side of the object, and of course the visible line up here is this side of the object, so the two holes and the one hole. Okay, so I'm going to turn that back off for now, and because I really don't need it for the development we're doing. Now I'm not going to do the lid. You'll actually have a lid on the bottom side of this object for this part in here, okay, to seal off between the two holes on the opposite side. But I'm not going to do that in this video to save some time. Okay, so I'll turn off the hidden layer. Now what we're going to do is to use triangulation to develop this pattern. And without going into a whole lot of detail about that right now, let me just show you how to do it. But basically, when you're going from a curved area to a straight area, you can, or surface I should say, curved surface to a straight surface, you can use triangulation to do that. And what you need to do first is divide your object up into triangles. Okay, so what I'll start off by doing is use the divide command, and I will divide this circle here into 12 equal segments. Okay, now you may need to adjust your point preferences here using DDP, TYPE, DDP type, if your points aren't showing up appropriately. Okay, but I divided that section into 12 equal segments, and now each of these half circles I'm going to divide as well. Okay, so I will divide this into 6 and that into 6. Okay, and I'm going to copy these to the endpoints. And what I've done here, I've trying to create something symmetrical. Okay, you can see that there's 6 spaces here, 6 spaces on the outside for a total of 12, and there's a total of 12 on this circle here. And what we want to do, we want to use that to create our development. So I'm on my construction layer, and the first thing I want to do, and please try to lay out your lines the same way that I do, is just connect these points. And you'll notice I need to, my drawing's looking kind of blocky. I'm sure you know that you can use RE and enter, which is regenerate, if your curves start looking a little blocky like that. Okay, so now that I've done that, I need to actually create the triangles. So I will now work in this direction. Okay. Now notice when I reach this midpoint here that I don't continue going from this point to this point. I'm going to actually flip it around and go in that direction. Okay, I want to create symmetry around the object. Okay, and what I can actually do to differentiate between the horizontal lines and the angled lines is to actually go in and change these colors to green. Okay, you can change it any color you want, but And then I will use the mirror command to mirror across to the other side. Now, I'm able to do this because this object is symmetrical. If this were offset, for example, this circle were moved over to one side or another, I wouldn't be able to mirror that across, obviously. Okay, but what I want to do now is to project those lines down to the front view. Okay, so I'm just draw a line straight down, and then I will copy those around, and now what I want to do is I want to make these different colors. Okay, I'll make those light blue, and then I'm going to take one of these lines, it doesn't matter which, and snap to those. Okay, and I will make those dark blue. Okay, and again trim off the excess. Now you'll notice I didn't go all the way to the other side, and that's because if I were to extend these lines, they would intersect these points back here. Okay, and that's also the reason why when I reached the midpoint here, I started my triangulation went in this direction instead of that direction. Okay, if you can think of it, if you rotate that object 90 degrees away from you, this line and this line will be directly in the behind one another. Okay, so what I need to do now is to recreate these lines in this view. Okay, now even though you can't see it, let me just for now make those yellow. Okay, now there's actually a yellow line running from here to here in the front view. Okay, so I'll follow that down. Okay, so that's my yellow line there. Now I have a green line running from this line to this line. So that will be green. Alright, and then that yellow line runs from here to here, so it does the same thing in this view. And then I'll have a green going from this line to this line. So I'll just follow that line down to here, and again that will be green. Alright, and then from this line to this line will be yellow. Okay, because you can see it here. There's the yellow line there. There's a yellow line in this view. Then this line from here to here will be green. You can see it here in the top view. And then finally this line is this line in that view, which is also yellow. Okay, so I can erase those lines that I created there, and then I can do the same thing that I did to the top. I can mirror across these lines. Okay, and again I'm able to do this because this object is symmetrical. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be able to. So that's our initial setup for the curve-to-curve triangulation on this shape. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this first video off, and we'll pick up with video 2.